Daft Punk was one of the most popular electronic music acts of all time, and despite the mutual split up in 2021, they are still well remembered by audiences for their funky beats. Then there's Electroma, a 2006 art house movie directed by the duo, which was reportedly meant to be a music video promoting the song Human After All, which admittedly do complement each other thematically, but we went from a 5-minute music video to a film that goes over an hour long, which is bound to divide audiences since this is a dialogueless, near-silent film being released after a century of audio being introduced in films. Usually when Daft Punk worked with visual mediums like music videos or films like the gorgeously animated Interstellar, their trademark bumping sounds would accompany the duo, so you know they had a hand in its production. Electroma, however, despite having the iconic robot helmets all over the place, doesn't have the trademark Daft Punk sound anywhere to be found, though it does have some insert songs from other bands to accompany the beautiful cinematography during pivotal moments. But if you're coming into this expecting a Daft Punk concert with visuals, you best be looking elsewhere, because this is an art house movie and everything that it implies. Maybe this project would have wider appeal and appreciation by the general public if it was the planned Human After All music video, but I still appreciate how Daft Punk went from making excellent auditory experiences to a near purely visual one. As for my personal feelings on the film, I quite liked it a lot. To me, Electroma is a film about a lot of things. There's a lot of messages you can dig deep, but at the core, it's about the sadness and joy of existence. However, you can sum up the core events of this film pretty quickly despite its long runtime, which I guess speaks to its original conception as a music video. The hero-robot duo try to pass as humans, they aren't accepted, they realize just passing as flesh creatures doesn't seem to make them happy, to the point where the silver one blows up while the gold one burns out into flames. It's a tragic story, as it says a lot about the struggle to love and accept yourself with just pure visuals. While some people may complain about the film's moments of boredom it brings out with its long, dragged-out scenes, I find that provides an extra level of poignance for me to think about the messaging. With every generation, there's always a lot of talk about people needing constant stimulation for one reason or another, but I think boredom can be a benefit to us as a checkpoint in your life. If you're constantly on the grind, you're eventually going to hurt yourself beyond the ability to repair, so take it easy, relax, think about what you've done and how you can move forward. Enjoy these cool gold and silver helmeted robots doing the most mundane shit with the occasional hint of grandeur. Because ultimately, that's what moment-to-moment life is. It can be seen as unremarkable in the grand scheme of things, but those special little moments and scenes that stick with you are gonna probably stick with you forever. Some may claim me and others only like this film because it's made by Daft Punk, and if any other person made it, we wouldn't give a shit about it, and maybe that's a fair critique, but to that I say, art like this doesn't exist in a vacuum. Everything influences and informs each other, either through basic things like a kid being inspired by a blockbuster movie to make his own home movies, or looking at individual pieces of an artist's work in retrospect to see the commonalities of what they're saying and how they've grown or regressed over the years. This film was an experiment for Daft Punk, a risk for the duo, and it may have not have paid off initially compared to their lucrative music careers or other film endeavors like Tron Legacy, but I'm happy it was made, and I love unconventionally great pieces of art like this. Thanks for listening to me ramble about this sick movie, and remember, whether you're human or not, you're loved by somebody.